Hey guys, welcome back to the Design the Life You Love with Lynz podcast. I'm so happy you're here. This is the podcast where we talk about intentionally living your life, following your intuition, your whisper, your guidance, and living a life that truly lights you up. I'm so happy you are here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's dive in. I'm
I'm
great.
great. You're all smiley and happy today.
Well, I am. It's an interesting day. My daughter, she's 18 months old. She just
Oh,
left for a little mini trip with her dad for the first time away from me. So
uh-oh.
I'm like excited to have time, but also like, oh my God, it's just, feel like a gut punch kind of.
Right. That must be really hard.
Yeah, yeah. I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 18-month-old. So,
Wow.
um, it's time to let her go with her dad overnight.
Right. Now, are you with your hair dad?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He's just taken her up north to go for a night or two. His parents live up there, and I have to go down to a livestock show to see my daughter and my son, my other daughter and son, show animals this week. And
Oh,
it's like a 4-hour drive, so it works out really well.
where is that? Where are you?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. What's a
West.
livestock show? They raise animals?
They do. So, my older children are from my first marriage, and they have sheep and pigs and um,
Wow.
chickens. Yeah, so they're going to be in Des Moines for this big livestock show. It's like the national pig show, actually. So
Mm-hmm.
they're very excited. I've never gotten to go to one of the national shows, so
Mm-hmm.
as much as a 4-hour drive kind of sucks, I am excited to go see them do this.
Mm. I find driving very interesting and fun. I make a whole list of things that I want to do in the car, like audios and who I want to talk to that I haven't spoken to in like a million years. And then you don't notice.
Yeah, it is therapy,
Hmm.
especially in the summer when you can have the windows down and the
Right.
music cranked. I'm definitely a podcast consumer, and I have many, many videos of courses that I could catch up on and all that good stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but I can't sit still for like 2 hours is kind of
Right.
I'm squirmy.
Right.
Now,
So
where are you from?
the car is a container
Yeah.
to to have you sit because you're
Hmm.
going somewhere. Uh,
Hmm.
okay.
Now, where are you from?
So I live in Connecticut
Oh, okay.
and grew up here, and I lived in New York for like 20 years. And
Nice.
hmm actually, my whole life I'm in the restaurant business,
Oh,
as owner of restaurants, and I've been in it since I was a child.
very cool.
Henceforth, I really needed another outlet.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting you say that because I keep saying, I need a restaurant. I need a restaurant. But I don't
Oh,
want that lifestyle. I grew up working in a restaurant, made excellent money, and we had
hmm
great food and all the things.
is that your family business?
It wasn't. When I was younger, my mom managed the restaurant that I worked at.
Oh,
So it kind of felt like family because we all knew each other for a long time.
right.
I think I worked there for like 6 years, maybe.
Yeah. But I think there's nothing better than working in a restaurant. It's
Hmm.
fun, you meet so many people. The people that you work with are your family.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's something that because we were a family business, it was really important for me that everybody like I have help now. Like
Hmm.
nobody has help. Nobody has employees right now.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
true.
do because like they stay because they get that because people they don't even have their own families. So that becomes their family.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the complaints around here. We have a small town, and people just write off the fact that we don't have good help as like an excuse to not have a good business. And the other
Mm,
part of me wants to go in and be like, okay, you have this, this, and this going for you. But if you did this, this, and this, and try that, I think you could really do something here, like
right.
I don't know, I call myself a little bit of an idea factory and I want to like help people grow their business, especially women. But
That's my thing too. I
yeah,
love that's like so important to me because I mean I think you're a connector, right? You connect people and you connect like you can step into something and watch. I'm like, oh, actually I hear things now. Oh,
mm,
this would be perfect for you. Da, da, da. I'm gonna hook you up with this person and but I think the more I do it and I give myself some credibility, because before I was just like you just said, just an
like
idea
guessing it.
factory, da, da.
Yeah.
But now there's so much validity to
Mhm.
that kind of relationship with people that it become like a real thing, like a
Mm.
real connection where to enhance somebody else's life.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
you
Yeah.
are trusting your intuition. You're using
Yeah.
your, I can't remember. It's clairvoyance is seeing it. What is hearing it?
Clairaudient.
Clairaudient. Thank you.
Yeah.
And the more we like reinforce, like, oh, that worked. Oh, and
Hmm.
trust it, then it's,
Right.
yeah, it's gonna get
Yeah.
better. Oh,
But
I
I
love.
think you can also say, right? You can also say, okay, I need to hear exactly what we're talking about, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then you start to dialogue with yourself on a whole nother level
Hmm.
than how we dialogue with ourselves as we were growing up and
Hmm.
we're, gave ourselves like criticism and things like that. Now I feel like the well, it's been working on myself for so many years and doing a lot of how you were saying, listening to and studying all these modalities and knowing that the chit chat and the chatter that's going on in our head is really what's keeping us in that like in like a limited box. So
Yeah. It's
if
my
we
goal that,
change that practice, yeah.
yeah, it's my goal that if, and I think it's happening, like younger generations are, coming to the realization much sooner than like
Mm-hmm.
I was in my 30s when I started working on myself and really tuning into intuition
Mm-hmm.
and following a soul-led path versus what other people wanted me to do. I
Right.
feel like the younger generation is a little bit more open to that and so and in watching my kids, like my daughter's 15, she's already like 20 years ahead of herself as far
Right.
as her wisdom. So that is so rewarding to me. And I
But
feel like it's,
don't you also think it's from watching you because you live your life like that? I always say, like, when we get on this nourishing path, I'm living this nourished life now that if I hear myself say something that's it doesn't resonate with me or it doesn't resonate with my spirit, we get to check in with our spirit at some point. And if it doesn't resonate, we get to cancel, delete, and reframe that whole way of thinking.
mm,
And I feel like, like the more we practice that, the more we are living that, and there's not room. It doesn't happen as often.
right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So I love the word nourish. And I
Hmm.
know, tell me what the word nourish means to you. That's the title of your new book, correct?
That's the title of my new book. And
Yeah.
um, what does it mean? Okay. There's so many meanings. So I was on this path of struggling with food for like my whole life because I was in the restaurant business and it was my solution. Oh, you know, I don't feel great. Let me grab something to eat. Oh, somebody said something to me, or it's like hectic here, or any kind of emotion that started coming up. Food became the accepted way to
Like numb.
just yeah, yeah, numb yourself or take care of yourself or support yourself. And by the way, I have come to the realization that food and any of those behaviors, we get to change from choosing food instead of doing food,
Ooh,
which was the big transition that led me on this path to nourish. But I had to first start to have that sensation of my life as nourishing. And when I say that, it means that anything I chose, I was going to be on this path of nourishment. It, if I got in a car and I went somewhere that maybe I wasn't so excited about, I would find a way to make it joyful and happy and nourishing for me, like fill my soul on some level. Any connections that I had with people, I got to the point where I was uh, avoiding connecting with people, and I was felt safer being at home, and I was around so many people all day long. All of a sudden, the energy became a little overwhelming. So I was more satisfied being at home. So I started to, for a long time, I, you allow yourself to go through all of these processes. And so nourish was the word that I came up with to kind of feed my soul, feed my life, feed my soul, and allow me to be okay with any behaviors that I was, let's frankly, beating myself up over in my life. And instead of doing the whole beat up thing or criticism, I said, okay, you know what? I need to have another aspect to this whole thing, because the truth is, it food saves people's lives. The fact that they have something that they can go to, and maybe it's not drugs, that they can go to, and that would support them, that would make them feel okay, that could take away any kind of, traumatic kind of feelings or behaviors or anything like that. The fact that somebody can go to food or have a go-to is something that is, we get to be grateful for that in our life. So nourish was when I realized that no matter what I ate, it wasn't cutting it for me, but I had the opportunity to have that for myself. So I needed a way to have me feel
Reframe.
fulfilled, reframed, have me feel that things were going to be very nourishing for me, very satisfying for me. And it wasn't about food. So I took the whole aspect of food to a whole nother level. And it actually became about feeling so complete in your life that when you look at things that you do or that we do in our life, we get to feel like accomplished and nurtured, and we get to feel that it's amazing and there's grace in our life. And what ends up happening, which is the end all results, but it's not the ending, is things become miracles in your life, right? It's
Yeah.
like you have this whole new, people show up in your life, people connect with you differently. It's
Synchronicities.
you like, I pinch myself and I go, am I happy? Like I wake up and I go, am I really this happy, or am I saying I'm happy and I'm not really happy? But I feel like there's like a little bounce in my step now also when I'm walking, because no matter what I'm doing, it's more exciting to do that. I wish that for everybody, for
Yeah.
everyone, that they can look at things. Well, we become an influencer around whoever we're around also.
Yeah.
And
What's the
people
appeal to
start to
her?
notice that, and they're like, wow, what's she doing? What's going on with her? But I think it was just shifting from my life, which I say was limited, even though I was really trying hard to be unlimited in my life at all times. And I was with certain things, but in order to surpass that limitation, this word like satisfied me to, ultimately satisfied me, because we are always, if we're on the nourishing path, which is a path, I think anybody could be on this path, you're never in the wrong place. You're never in the middle of it. You're never at the end of it. You're always just on that path, and things become more nourishing to us, and things become happier, and things become more miraculous, and people and energy becomes so
Abundant.
different. Yeah.
Mm. Well, this is also synchronistic because I've noticed I'm a stay-at-home mom with my youngest, right?
Hmm.
And it's something that I always want. I actually didn't do that with my first two children. They're 15 and 13, like I said. And
Hmm.
um, I felt so much guilt about missing out on their childhood that, and like Elsie is my youngest, I've seen her as such a blessing, like almost a chance, an opportunity to do things differently, do things better this time, show up um, and be more present. Like that has definitely been one of my lessons in life is to
Hmm.
be more present. And, but while doing that, I found myself feeling that limitation like, oh, I can't because I just kept
Right.
re enforcing
Enforcing.
that
Right.
stupid limitation. And it's like, no, I can do whatever I want. I can take her with
Right.
me to the park. I can go. But I caught myself in this limitation. And I did notice myself numbing with food. Like, oh, she's down for a nap. I'm going to have another cup of coffee and another slice of bread and or she won't go to sleep, so I'm going to eat all the chocolate in the house. Like,
That you can eat before she gets up.
yeah, yeah. And it's like,
Right.
I didn't, I don't remember me having that before, but
Hmm.
you know, throughout life, I've had other things that were like, what do you even call it? That were the solution to my discomfort, basically. You know, I
Well, you
smoked as a
found other
teenager.
ways, right? You found other ways to support yourself, which everyone does.
Hmm.
It's not like everybody walks around and it's like, well, I don't need anything because everybody has something,
Yeah,
right? And I think we get to be grateful that we're choosing food,
yeah,
but then also find that the cravings are really what we are really, I talk about cravings a lot in my book, are really things that we are desiring, like there's cravings like we want to like chew on something salty or chew something hard or chocolate, we need something sweet. So I think all those cravings are associated with how um, we're feeling.
yeah. I totally agree with that.
We're feeling, like salty could be like a short of, like kind of salt in our system.
Hmm.
We're being trained to not even have salt lately, which we need for our
Yeah,
brain. And we
yeah,
need sugar for our brain too. So
yeah.
it's like when we get into that feeling of overwhelm, our body's calling for sugar, because that emotional part of us took some kind of um, reaction to ourselves, and we actually need sugar,
Hmm.
right, in order to satisfy ourselves. So it's okay,
It's
right?
okay. Yeah.
It's okay. And if we allow ourselves to feel okay instead of, how many of us say, oh my God, I ate. I hear things like, this is the funniest. I hear things like, oh my God, I had matcha frap or something today, and I go, is that bad? Is that like a bad thing? Like people, like everything now, things are bad, like people can't have this, they can't have that, they can't. So I think once we start to say that to ourselves and limit ourselves and what we can have and what we can't have.
Well, and I think too, like
Yeah.
when we make something bad, we are giving it that energy, and therefore something
Right.
that maybe wasn't bad for us, we're making it bad. We
Right.
are giving it that energy and it's affecting us that way. I just
Right.
said this to my mom yesterday. She's like, "Oh, I know I shouldn't have oatmeal." I'm like, "Mom, you are eating good oatmeal. It's not like,
Right.
the instant, crap that has all kinds of preservatives in it.
Right.
Don't treat it as something that's bad because it's going to affect
Hmm.
you much more negatively than if you were to say, this oatmeal is warming me up and I just love the taste of it and it's feeding my body and I
Right.
can, like
Right.
just enjoy."
And our body is listening to us. Can you imagine we eat something and we say, oh, it's really so bad for me. But then if we take that same thing and say, okay, you know what? I just need it. I started doing this technique. Let me just tell you this because I think that it might work. I started doing this technique where I thought, um, I would crave something.
Hmm.
Like like right now I won't eat chocolate. Not because I'm telling myself I can't have chocolate, but because when I wanted chocolate, I would allow myself to have the chocolate and I made it okay. Chocolate, I made chocolate okay because there are, a lot of chocolates that are frankly very good and it's
Yep.
really good for the brain. So I allowed chocolate to be okay. And I allowed, and so because I didn't say, oh my God, you can have chocolate at the end of the night or whatever I don't want it.
Mm,
Right? I almost neutralize. I call this like a neutralizing effect. I neutralize my my cravings for that particular item.
I love that. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's great. And I did the same thing with, my go-tos were like, who doesn't love Doritos? But I started looking at like that almost didn't start to feel right. But this was like a process of like almost a year and a half where I would just eliminate I'm talking about processed foods, that I would,
Yep.
pick up and things like that. But I let myself have it in the process. And
Mm,
that made all the difference in the world instead of forbidding,
yeah.
creating that limitation around different food, So,
It's like the smoker who keeps a pack of cigarettes in their glove box just in case,
right,
and then they're there for 10 years, and it's just like, it's not a thing. But if they weren't there, would it have been a thing?
right. But what ends up happening, like we're so addictive, that when we drive by like a convenience store, I used to be addictive just driving by a convenience store or getting gas and running in and grabbing like whatever I wanted. I That used to trigger me.
Hmm.
And there's a gas station on every corner.
Yeah.
So I almost had to neutralize myself for, okay, I'm just gonna get gas. I don't need to go in.
Well, and so much of our like food behavior, I feel like is tied to activities. Like I
Right,
feel like I need something in the car. Like I never drink pop, but I'll grab what are they called? They're like flavored fizzy waters. I'll grab
right,
one of those when I go run an errand. And it's like, I don't
right,
need this other than to go for a ride. And why do I don't really need it. But it's just
right,
this psychological weirdness. Yeah.
right.
And my tea or my coffee in the morning. So I try to fast every so often. And,
Hmm.
um, but my crutch is my coffee in the morning. Like I like to have my morning ritual. It's a slow morning and I have my coffee and I sip it quietly. And that was really hard for me, but it's really just the intention and it's the energy. Like,
Attention, and it's grounding you,
yeah,
right? It's grounding you and it's putting you like in a meditative state and it feels good. So
yeah.
I for me, that's nourishing. That's a
Hmm.
nourishing act of, we could say, kindness to yourself. And, one day maybe you'll just be like, you know what, I think I'm gonna have like tea or something else like that. But right now it's supporting you and it's making you feel happy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually what I did was replace it with tea and then my coffee's a little later and I still and my coffee tastes better now, which is
Yeah.
so funny.
I agree. I agree. And I think it's just that intention of, but I also have replaced most of the conversations with myself to say, well, is this nourishing? Is this nourishing for me? And now my body's answering instead of my mind. I think we get in trouble sometimes when our mind's like running the ship. So my body's answering and going, but I could hear, I think what happens is we need that space to listen to our body, which we don't get. And that's that somatic work that you talk about a lot. I did a lot of somatic work to see what my body was saying because I didn't know. There was like a disconnect, body, head, body, uh,
Yeah.
feet,
Well,
you know.
there's so much noise in the world. Like you were saying,
Yes.
they tell us sugar's bad and then they tell us salt is bad and then there's the news and our phones and yeah, we get pulled out of our own attention. So yeah, it takes a minute to, all the conditioning that we've had for our whole
Hmm.
life
Hmm.
to decondition so that we can hear ourselves again. And
Right.
I call it metabolizing. Like I feel like May was just all metabolizing. Like that's all I did was metabolize and feel all the feelings. I
Hmm.
really thought this year was going to be um, more of a jump start year. Like,
Right.
boom, things were going to really open up. And I just keep metabolizing and metabolizing. And
Right.
it's probably part energy of what's going on in the world and just where I'm at in my life. But
Right.
metabolizing the feelings. And then I think when we do that, everything else has less control over us, whether it's food
Hmm.
or our phone or what do you think about that?
Uh, I totally, totally agree with you. And I feel like I spent so many years metabolizing everything. And so I think that to me, when you say metabolism, it feels like an integration.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's a
sure how
better
you're
word.
holding that, right?
Yep.
I feel like it's an integration. So
Mhm.
as we integrate all of you're talking about situations in life and your emotions, I feel like all those are important to create more of a foundation of where we're heading. And, we may come to the point where we're looking at something and going, okay, you know what? That might not, maybe I don't need to do it as long. I think that sometimes when we are shifting behaviors, it doesn't take we still are going to do it. And people are going to show up in our life that, trigger us or um, affect us in certain ways. And we get to look at it, and then it maybe doesn't take as long to process it. And
Mm,
we hold the other person differently, and we hold it like, how's that affecting me? Or what about me is seeing things like this? Or how am I holding this that it keeps showing up in my world? I've had so many situations in the last year with different people that always um, have triggered me. And I find that it doesn't take as long to get over it. Not that I'm trying to get over it, trying to see what part I am in that whole relationship. And what happens is it doesn't happen as much. And people start to show up differently because you're holding things differently. We're holding it differently. So you have that experience too a lot lately.
yes.
Yes, you're
Well,
back to
I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
yeah.
I downloaded your app this morning and I was in the middle of listening to the lock and key technique.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, and it's so timely, so timely. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, in that technique, you talk about how people trigger you, and yeah, I've definitely seen that. Working over, I don't know, 10 years of working on myself, and I didn't get to that point until it was like, oh, look at what I've done with my life. There's nobody else to blame but the one in the mirror, and
Hmm.
that's me. And how and what am I doing to attract these situations? So I think
Hmm.
that's such an important or question to ask yourself.
Right.
Um, so anybody listening, like if you keep finding yourself in the same loop, in the
Right.
same bullshit
Right.
conversations or
Right.
triggers, there's
Right.
something there that your body and the universe is like, hey, we're trying to
Hmm.
get your attention.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the app because they're really healing activations,
Mm,
and they bring they bring whoever's listening through to it. They're almost like 30 to 40 minutes long. They're actually healing activations. There's so much intention that those are my experiences. Those are the things that I coach people. Those are situations that people have been, that people talk about and people go through all the time. And I try to put it in this whole bundle. As a matter of fact, put the app into bundles, and they're I can't even tell you, when anybody listens to it, they have a cathartic experience
mm,
and shifts the perception of how they're holding certain people, behaviors, certain parts of their life, and go, oh my God, what? Because they're releasing from a point in their childhood of like you did the lock and key. Like when did whatever you were experiencing start? And then it takes you through the whole process of like how you created these beliefs. And it's an amazing way to release. And it's like, really 35 years of work for me that somebody could just listen to and shift in their life. Um, so it's called the Nourish app. And, there's a free 2 week period that anybody can go on and listen to it. And you can listen to one a day and you'll be good. It's
I love
amazing.
it.
Yeah.
It's very similar to something that I have as well, reset. And it's just little things that I've learned myself too. And that's what I feel like, you know, I, not to pick on therapists, but I was in therapy for a couple of years, or maybe it
Hmm.
was 4 years,
Yeah.
and you just kind of rehash things. The
Right.
practices that you have in Nourish app and the
It's a
practices,
solution.
yeah, they're the integration and the embodiment and like the real get your skin in the game. It's like shining a flashlight.
Right.
We don't
Yeah.
know what's there because
Hmm.
nobody's shown a light on it
Right.
before. And so
Right.
that's what your activation
Right.
did. And that's what my reset audios do, I feel like too. Like, oh, look at this. Have you
Hmm.
have you seen where this is affecting you? And this is like the root of it.
Right. We have to go to the root. You know why? Because, and I don't know if therapists do that all the time. Yeah, I think you talk about the same story and then you're talking about how it's affecting us and they're talking about how it's affecting us right now also. But it's the same, you meet people and they're talking about the same behavior all the time. Like who said what, and they're always in that same kind of drama addiction, kind of behavior.
Yeah.
But um so the app and actually my books also are about to be, they have like some of can I just name the four things
Yes, I
that
was going to ask you that question
yeah.
anyway, because I see that your recent book is number 5, correct?
No, my recent book is number 4,
Oh, number 4. Okay.
which is called Nourish.
Okay.
It's called Nourish.
Love it.
And and I have 2 other books. And uh this other book that I have was where I went through I don't want to call them every modality, every kind of, past life regression, every kind of to try to switch and transform behaviors.
Okay.
And then Nourish kind of was a culmination, like, oh my God, like that was okay. I learned a lot, but being on the path of Nourish is really kind of a mantra,
Yeah. Well, it's
a
like a full
mantra for me.
circle,
Mhm.
all-encompassing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that you bring that up because when you were speaking about the word nourish and how it meant, what it meant to you, and how it's been your kind of guide light or
yes,
guidepost,
yes,
I feel like everyone needs a word that gets them
right,
there. That's
right.
like inspiring and activating,
Hmm.
something that nourishes them in whatever way.
Right. And you could say joy, and joy to me is part of nourish also. And you could say, um, whatever words that you say, but, or work, some people, I got to work hard, or all of these things are their mantras of how their life is set because the way we think, it's kind of like we have in the back of our brain, we have this whole like sphere of thinking, like the background of like, let's just say a computer,
Yeah.
right? And there's the program, and the program is, okay, I work hard. Um, I'm trying to be abundant. Trying to be abundant doesn't really actually get you abundance, because you're always trying. So I know that that's a basic concept, but it's kind of almost like not even trying, but I'm going to get there one day,
Yeah. Separating yourself.
right? Yeah. And and then or we focus on the thing that we're not doing,
Hmm.
right? So if we're going to focus on the thing that we're doing or we're going to get to, we make our future our present,
Yeah.
right? And
Because
then we
all
get
timelines exist, right?
right. And then we're there and we're still being nourished no matter what's happening.
Hmm.
And that's the framework. That's the background. That's the framework. So anything can be, if we're reading something and we don't love it, we got something out of it, it was nourishing to us. Maybe we know that we don't like it.
Yeah.
That's also nourishing to us to know ourselves more.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
So how long have you been writing?
of course, I was never, if somebody ever told me when I was younger, oh, you're going to be a writer, I would be like, okay, right. No, I don't even like to read. Um, so, so I just started, it's interesting. I heard the name of this book, the first book that I wrote, and it was called Eat Your Words. And I wrote it down in my notes one day. And I was like, if I ever write a book, and this is when I was like in my 30s or 40s, right? I go, if I ever write a book, this is the name of the book. And then, like, actually 15 years ago, I went to this writing for a weekend,
Oh,
write
okay.
a book in a weekend kind of seminar. And I wasn't really going to stay there, and I wasn't really going to sit down for the whole weekend. Like, I'm antsy like you. I don't want to sit down and do, but there were like 20 people in the room. And the guy that was teaching kept coming over to me and saying, um, that girl, she's 15 years old. She wrote 2,000 words in 20 minutes. You're on like 250. And so he kept challenging me. And so he got me good. And so I ended up completing a book. Now it need a lot of work, but then it was the gist that I said, oh, you know what? Not bad. I just actually needed someone to help me put it together a little bit better. And they offered that. And so I did it. And I was like proud of this story, but I was proud of this story. It talked about a woman who's in the restaurant business, relationship with food,
Mm,
and all the antidotes and all the, things that she did and her solution was always food. So it's very funny. It's a very funny book. And then I wanted to get serious because I had so much experience
mhm.
behind me on the work I was doing because I was studying. I was traveling all over the world. I was studying with shamans, and I was learning every kind of healing modality with like some of the greatest. I learned past life regression. I had all these experiences that were so like outside of the scope of my little life here. And I was like, and that was feeding me.
Yeah.
That was making me really, really happy. That was making me, oh my God, I'm studying with this person, or it was amazing to me. So I, kept on going with my books.
Mm,
And I actually finished as we speak, just finished like a week ago. This Nourish book that I have, I actually just did a like almost like it's a guide book of a day-to-day
ooh.
nourishing points and how you can look at things. So it's this, but it's more than this, and you can look at it every day, and you don't have to do it like day by day for not at all. It's just you flip the page, and then you can go and see, okay, oh, I'm going to do this today, or I'm going to look at things like this. It's just a matter of what I go through is things that happen in your life and how we can switch how we look at it, and how we like different types of relationships that we can have with the basic things that happen in everybody's life. Anyways,
Mm.
I just finished it. So it's amazing. I can't believe it, actually, to tell you the truth.
It's just proof that God's plan is always better than our own. We think we know
Right.
what we want or what
Mhm.
we should do, and then
Yeah.
if we just lean in, and I love that your
Right.
instructor challenged you. He obviously was like, I know how to get her.
Right. He knew. Yeah, I know people like you. They
Hmm.
always come to here, but no. The truth is, I wanted to hang out with my friend who was his girlfriend. And I was like, no, we're going to go. We're going to go out. And he's like, yeah, no, you're not. It was so funny.
That's
It was
awesome.
funny. It was good. And yeah, so, I never turned back. I didn't realize that I was going to continue on. I just didn't realize I was going to continue on. But then once you start putting a message forward, and I didn't even at that time, I didn't have the word nourish in my mindset. That like evolved because I kept saying I'm writing these books and I don't have a solution to my food behaviors. I didn't have a solution. And I was like, I can't go out there and talk in public when I can't, even take care of my own emotional being. And, but then, I started becoming more grateful. And that's really key and really important, really being grateful for your life, for everybody in your life. I don't care what they say, I don't care what they did, you know, so many times people bring you in a new direction, whether we like it or not, because nobody likes change,
No.
to tell you the truth. But when change happens, now I say, okay, all right, I just don't know the rest of the story. That's my little mantra when the change happens, because it's
Oh,
still
that's
like, they still
good.
get that little pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I sound like, like, what, like I didn't see that coming. And then you're like, okay, then you take a breath and you're like, okay, I don't know where this is taking me. I don't know why this person left my life. I don't know why this person's still in my life. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's
So
very powerful because it takes we humans, we want certainty. We want to know what's going to happen and how it's going to
yeah,
shake out.
yeah. I think the biggest thing that we want is we want to feel safe no matter
Yeah.
what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
But
And
if we just sit there and do the same thing all the time,
yeah,
that
that's
is
not safe.
also creating some kind of a, you know, and that eventually, becomes old, and we would get restless, having the same thing all the time. And people that have, like you obviously have a sole purpose, you have a message. If we're talking on this level, we all have messages that we're going to go out in the world with.
Mm.
And so if we sat still and did nothing, then
That's
we
part of that
wouldn't feel okay.
metabolizing thing that I
Yes.
was talking about earlier is like it felt like, or I guess it has felt like every little thing that I do, it's like, nope, not yet, or not that, or not, no, that's not it. Sit still, be still, and just be. And I feel like the more people that I talk to who have been on a journey of, you know, learning to love themselves and a healing journey, that's the hardest part is to just be and to truly have faith that everything is going to work out without any kind of certainty, without any kind of knowing what or how or when.
Hmm. Yes, completely. That trust. It's kind of that trust in yourself and your guidance, your higher self, like however you call that higher power, whatever's leading you. Because we're really, when we get to this point, we're really internal about our lives and how we hear things and how we see things. And we just sit back and watch how we resonate with other people around us. People are, if we're present with ourselves, I feel like people are like present with us and listening to us also, which that was a big hard lesson too.
Yeah. Well, tell me more about that.
Oh, well, you know, I thought, I couldn't fill my day up enough all the time, and as I am still like that, but I leave pockets of times for myself when I can, it's more contemplative for me, where it's like I was telling you, I need to hear a little bit, hear what's really going on. What's my body telling me? What's my spirit telling me? What's my soul telling me? What is that connection with the universe? What's going on? I mean, how about what's going on in the world for us to like still be present within ourselves and know that whatever's happening in the world right now, I think is just part of a bigger plan that we have no idea, what forces are at play right now. And
Mhm.
that the more I see, a lot of things that are going on, the more I think, okay, we can only be ourselves in love Because maybe we're just hearing the loudest people in the world. We're just hearing people that
I
are,
agree.
and maybe we're being broadcasted the loudest, or the, this, or the separation that's going on in the world. So we can only do us,
Yeah.
and be, um connect with the people around us, that they are influenced by us in a positive way, and that they can feel that love and that resonance in their own life by we're an example.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How else can we look at what's going, how else can we look at,
Yeah.
you
I feel like we've been fed the lie of separation and,
right,
pitted against each other
right,
and the past it's now 6 years, we were we were physically separated also, which
yes,
only fed the division.
right,
Because when we're actually in person with people, whether they have the same exact beliefs as us or not,
right,
this actually just happened to me. I was in
hmm,
a situation where the other person I know is very vocal about their opinions or
yes,
their political views and whatever,
yeah,
and we don't align. But when we are together in person, we can sit, we can respect each other, we can have a
right.
conversation, we can
We never
exchange
knew that,
love.
but we never knew we couldn't before.
Right.
Like, where'd that come, like, where that separation come from? Everybody always had different opinions. And when I was growing up, everybody had a different opinion. It doesn't mean like we didn't talk to them anymore, or we couldn't talk to them, or we couldn't go near them. I mean, there's all these rules right now
I
that
know.
are, like, frankly ridiculous. But it doesn't matter, because we have to stay true to ourselves, and we get to stay true to, that connection.
Yeah. I
Because,
feel like there's like a rebirth that's coming or
right,
happening. We
I
might be
agree
in
with
it.
you.
Yeah.
I
Like,
agree with you totally, that, people are going to be, because I meet people that are really heartfelt, and I wouldn't even be on your show if we didn't resonate on some level. We just happen to find each other, but you couldn't, you wouldn't have somebody that we weren't aligned on your show, because you just you wouldn't be attracting that kind of a person to you. So
right.
the more we are true to ourselves, and the more we are aligned with that truth, and we're, from within, we the world will change. It has to be from within. It's not going to be from without.
Yep.
I mean, I can't imagine somebody that, that's, it just has, I just think it's from within. So
Yep.
it's always how things start, right? They start from grassroots. We've seen it a million times in history. It's a grassroots effort, and things can change quickly, quickly, if we're
Yeah.
all aligned with that message. So that's why I like my little message of nourish, because if you feel nourished, then you'll make a lot of people around you feel that way too.
Yeah.
Right.
You lead by example and your energy field expands and then it's
Hmm.
affecting everyone else's energy field. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. I had
Yeah.
something and now I lost it. But no, the
Like, even this work
separation.
that you're doing, that you're talking, the people that you're speaking to, the message that you're giving in the world too, is, you're affecting so many people. How can it not transmute to,
Love.
love in the world,
Yeah. I know
It's
what it
not going to
was. It was
be,
authenticity.
unnoticed, it's not going to be unfelt. Like, people are not going to not feel that in their worlds.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
agree. What came to me was authenticity.
Hmm.
And um, that's one of the things that the podcast has really helped me tap into. Like,
Hmm.
me 10 years ago would have been scared to death to have a Zoom call like this and talk to someone, let alone publish it, like
About
add
your
me into the,
family
oh, and my family, yeah,
and your
I would have been,
feelings and what you did. Yeah.
I would have been critiquing myself and, oh, it never would
Hmm.
have happened. But the more the podcast has allowed me to use my voice and to find my voice and to be more authentic.
Mhm.
And when you mentioned, I wouldn't have somebody that's not aligned on my podcast, I'm like, I have never even had anybody ask to be on the podcast that was not aligned. So I feel like that's all part of it too, like the
Mhm.
magnetism. If we
Mhm.
are more authentic, we are only going to attract the right people and the people that are aligned,
For sure.
relationships that are
For
aligned.
sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And it's only gonna increase. I'll say increase in value,
Yeah.
right? The people that we are in our, maybe we could call it a soul group, which is gonna soon enough be like world consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Our soul group's it's gonna infiltrate, because I don't know if you, I don't know what age you are, but there used to be this Prel commercial.
Mm.
And it used to say, and the girl was like washing her hair, and they were promoting this shampoo. And she would say, and I told two people, and they told two people, and they told, like, so it was like this arithmetic kind of influence that was happening. So everybody knew about this product, but it's the same thing with like the work we're doing, right?
Yes.
And everybody soon will have their, tentacles and all of this stuff. I say it in a nice way.
Yep.
Tentacles, like a blanket, like this nurturing blanket. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. Do you,
Mhm.
I keep thinking of the Schumann resonance.
Resonance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how that's changing so quickly, actually. And I
Mhm.
just love I'm not a science nerd, but when it applies to the things that I already feel are right for me, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I love to see some concrete proof that I can like show all the naysayers if there are naysayers. But
Mhm.
yeah. Hmm.
How do you use the Schumann resonance? Do you check that?
I get
I am
some
not really.
email. I think I get an email or it's in my feed on Instagram or something every now and then
Mhm.
that'll say the resonance is like gone up 10 points in 20 years and it's a big deal or
Mhm.
something like that. Don't quote me on that, but I know that
Right.
it is improving and
Mhm.
that's because people are becoming more aware of all the things that we're
Right.
talking about right now.
Right. And we're not being told that.
Right.
We don't know that, but we do know it because we see it.
Yeah, and feel it.
Right. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's so fun. Because yeah,
Mhm.
if you only paid attention to the news, you know,
You would
that
think
wouldn't,
the world's going to end next
right.
week.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Hmm. So, my dear, if you could tell the audience, like one tip on how to design the life you love, tying back into the name of the show, what is something that you would give them as far as a tip or a practice to help them do that?
Okay. As far as a practice is to very much get conscious about how we're speaking to ourselves. And that's really easy to do. Just set the intention of, okay, I'm going to speak loving thoughts to myself. Do it for an hour,
Yeah.
right? Do it for an hour. Direct your mind. You can, I know we think that the mind just kind of occurs, but it doesn't really. It takes direction from us, right? So that's one thing that we start to do that. And I'm here to tell you that what happens is, let's just say it's 10% of your day that you're saying nice things to yourself. Eventually, the more you do, it kind of multiplies itself. Maybe the week after it'll be 20%, which is great. And then you'll start to catch yourself when you say things that aren't resonating, that aren't nice, and you'll start to eventually almost feel so much compassion for yourself for everything that you've done in your life also, that because sometimes it's so hard to forgive ourselves, like, I can't believe I did that in my life, and we can't forgive ourselves. But what happens is that was important. Whatever that thing is that we did, it was probably important for our soul on
Yeah.
some level. So eventually we get to be to the point where, I mean, I notice in 2 seconds if I'm going down that little negative booby trap road. So I could say for myself that I'm at least whatever 70 or 80%. You can look at it in percentages, right? In order to like, for people that are very, mental and start to really appreciate, you'll start to appreciate yourself more. All of these things are part of the whole nourishing path.
Mm.
And and just saying that we're on that nourishing path is everything.
Mhm.
Everything. And you get to feel happy, and you'll start to feel like amazing, and you'll start to notice your life and who's coming in, and things will fall away. Things that people that don't resonate with you anymore are going to start to go away, or they're going to notice you changed. So you'll be okay. It'll be okay.
It can be kind of uncomfortable at times.
It'll be all right.
Mm.
And maybe they'll come back later on,
Yeah.
but still things are going to shift. And that's in a nutshell, my nourishing path. And if you're struggling, pick up my app, pick up my book. And I also have a gift. Can I tell you that now?
Yes, please.
Oh, I have a gift that's 10 nourishing points that 10 ways to nourish your life.
Mm.
That if they go under my website, it's Isabel-Chiara, CHIARA.com. There's the gift is there for them, and they could post that up on their wall, and then they could just read that, and it'll
Awesome.
take them, hold them.
Yeah.
Right.
Nourish them.
Yes. Nourish
I'll add
them.
that to the show notes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and check out the app because it's really good. Um,
Yes.
and I can't wait to order your book. I'm going to do that today.
Thank you.
And yeah, everything that you said, intention, like having the intention to find the gratitude or to find that nourishing frame to see everything through changes your whole life. We think that it's going to take so much work to get
Right.
where we want to be, and it's really just small daily little things,
Right.
little shifts.
And our whole life will change.
Yeah,
I can't even express. I'm living proof of that. I was pretty
same,
negative. And
same,
now,
same.
and now I don't even like think like that anymore,
Mm,
which is amazing.
it is. It's so freeing.
Yes.
Mm.
Anyways, it was so nice meeting you
This has
and
been a very
connecting.
nourishing conversation. I just feel like I had a warm hug and, cup of coffee. So thank you so much for being
Cool.
here.
Thank you so much.
Okay, my loves, thanks for hanging with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it with someone and like, subscribe, leave me a rating, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next week.